NBA particularly said that the federal government has no right to hold on to council allocation and that they are ready to sue if the money doesn't start flowing. Hello everyone, welcome to Situation's weekly political news roundup, where we break down Nigeria's top political stories. My name is Kosiso Chukwume, and this week we would like to break the highlights down into three parts: federal, state, and local government politics. Remember to share your views at the end of the video. So at the federal level, the 2027 general elections, of course, it's been in the news. So in 2027, Nigeria will have its 8th general election since returning to democracy in 1999. And just so you're aware, INEC has regularized election dates in Nigeria. So you can now know the dates election will hold as far as 2063. How about that? All things being equal, the 2027 presidential and National Assembly elections will hold on the 20th of February 2027, while the governorship and state houses of assembly elections will hold on the 6th of March 2027. But let's get to the politics of it. If you've been making projections ahead of 2027, then you would agree that the game is shifting from an APC-PDP affair to an APC-PDP-ADC setup. Earlier this week, we saw PDP announcing that it is zoning the 2027 presidential ticket to the south. As for APC, they said their 2027 presidential ticket remains open to contestants. I mean, if you think we would print only one presidential nomination form for Tinubu to exclude other party chieftains from contesting for the ticket, perish that thought. Is this another case of I belong to everybody and I belong to nobody? Do you remember that statement? Well, not exactly, since they acknowledge that although many stakeholders within the party have adopted President Tinubu as their preferred candidate, the process remains open to all potential aspirants. We also continue to see ADC gaining considerable momentum as several politicians continue to defect from their respective parties to join the ADC. The former governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, has declared that he will not be contesting for any political position in 2027 general elections. What do you think about that? At the state level, Benue state politics have been the most dramatic thus far. About a week ago, the Speaker of the Benue State House of Assembly, Aodona Dajo, suspended 4 lawmakers. Why? He accused them of plotting to impeach him. That looked like a show of strength until only 2 days later, Dajo himself resigned as Speaker. Shocking, right? Now, here is where it gets even more interesting. One of the lawmakers he suspended, Alfred Berger, was immediately brought back, cleared of suspension, and then elected as the new Speaker of the House. Imagine being suspended on Friday and becoming Speaker on Sunday. That's how fast things moved. But the story didn't end there. Barely a day after stepping down, Dajo himself was suspended for 3 months by the same assembly he once led. The new leadership accused him of plotting to impeach the sitting governor, Governor Alia, which they said could have thrown the whole state into crisis. To make matters even juicier, the new speaker and his team have started reversing some of the tough decisions Dajo took before leaving. We see some appointees who had earlier been suspended now being reinstated. In short, let's say the assembly is realigning itself with the governor. The Osun State Government has repeatedly accused the Attorney General of the Federation of ignoring court rulings that recognize the PDP elected local council officials from the February 2025 elections as legitimate office holders. Yet, the money that should go to them has not been released for no valid reason. If you're asking if there's any response yet from the AG's office, yes, they've responded. They said that the Osun State Government has no case. So far, we see the Nigerian Bar Association and the National Union of Local Government Workers, NOLGE, calling the federal government to stop withholding these funds. They call it unconstitutional, illegal, and dangerous. The NBA particularly said that the federal government has no right to hold on to council allocation and that they are ready to sue if the money doesn't start flowing. As we share this week's highlights, you and I are faced with the same question. Will politics keep serving politicians, or will it finally start serving the people? As Nigeria's civil society situation, we call on all Nigerians to stay engaged and informed. Now more than ever, Nigerians must prioritize political education. Democracy thrives when citizens are informed and active. That's all for this week. Stay informed and share your thoughts in the comments. See you next time. Bye.